know how you could possibly be on YouTube without knowing who John Green is. I mean, the man makes some of the best videos on the platform, and along with his brother Hank, he helped to establish what a YouTube video like even was. In fact, it's his videos which got me here in the first place, but we're not talking about John Green's million, bajillion, quintillion, galajabillion YouTube contributions. Today, we're talking about his literary career. Because before John Green helped to found the media empire that is Complexly Productions, or Incorporated, or whatever it is, he was a novelist. And he also, a few weeks ago, put out his first book in, like, 4 years. Turtles All the Way Down. And, like, you know, it exists. And this is Should You Read? And we're going to talk about whether you should read this book. Because that's what we do. First, a bit of context. See, John Green's first 3 novels, Looking for Alaska, An Abundance of Caverns, and Paper Towns, were pretty successful and notoriable and gained a lot of acclaim. But his 4th novel, The Fault in Our Stars, was acclaimed on a level way higher than the others. Like, I was in high school when The Fault in Our Stars came out, and pretty much everyone, and I do mean everyone, was obsessed with it. Because it was an incredibly compelling story, and it really helped a lot of emotionally damaged teenagers, by which I mean all teenagers, and even a few slightly self-aware ones. And John Green is a brilliant writer. This guy's writing style is electric. He's so amazingly creative. This is a man who came up with a side character whose gimmick is that he has parents who have the largest collection of black Santa Claus knickknacks. And I have to say, I am a John Green mega fan. So much so that I frequently emblazon him upon my chest. In fact, wait, why am I not wearing this shirt right now? There, that's better. Maybe think before you start to make a video, Wyatt. And I even attended his book tour in Decatur to get my copy of this one, which, you may note, is signed. Be jealous. There's like 200,000 of these. They're not rare. Anyway, the weird thing is that John Green's writing is actually kind of the thing about him that I like the least. See, John Green is an incredibly skilled writer, as you can see if you watch any of his YouTube videos, most of which are scripted and all of which sound amazing. On the printed word, he's often able to control the rate at which you read his prose, and he's able to just electrically stick into your mind. Unfortunately, what bothers me about John Green is often the content or subject matter of his book. See, I just don't really like stories about melodramatic teenagers doing melodramatic things. I like action, sci-fi, horror, sin, bad things going everywhere, cyberpunk, and deep stories of people stabbing each other, and betrayals, and love, and romance, and epic, cool fights, and dragons, and mystics, and cops, and, political dramas, and what's plot twist? And those aren't kind of the things that you get in John Green, except for the romance. You do get the romance, but it's of a certain type. I finished The Fault in Our Stars, but I've tried to read Paper Towns like 3 times, and I fail. Each time I just lose interest. It just doesn't grab me. So when I say that Turtles All the Way Down is one of the best books I've ever read, pay attention to it. This book is on a whole new level. It is better than The Fault in Our Stars, okay? First, let's talk about the actual book. Now, I'm trying to get you to hear it, but this is an incredibly quality printing, okay? Really, really nice dust cover. Like, I'm just feeling this dust cover. It feels good on my skin. Like, there's this nice, tactile, sensual information here, okay? Book's relatively short. 286 pages, widely spaced font. Pretty much anyone can read this book and finish it in a decent, timely manner, But there's enough here to warrant the price. And this book says it's worth $20. But I saw on Amazon that you can find it for $12, even $9, just by, looking around for a sec. And it is certainly worth the price. Like all of John Green's books, it's very easy to read. Pretty much anyone over the age of 11 can really easily read and understand and enjoy this book. But it's the emotional depth that'll do it for more hardcore fans, critical readers, and for adults. Now, what is that hardcore stuff? This book is about OCD. It is about the condition of obsessive compulsive disorder, which its main character, Aza Holmes, has. and which, as he, in the last few years, has started to talk more and more about, John Green has. And what makes this book so compelling is its perfect, and I do mean perfect, abstraction of this mental illness. And the fact that even if you don't, like, most people who read this book will not have OCD. I don't have OCD, okay? But I am somehow able to connect so deeply to Aza because her emotions of being a 16-year-old junior in high school teenager, her experience is incredibly relatable. She thinks about, not having much control over life, not knowing what she's going to do, feeling kind of bad for not being a better friend to her many cool friends, one of which Daisy is a really cool character. Even though I have to point out a small plot hole. There's a part in this book where Daisy is complaining about making $8.40 an hour working at Chuck E. Cheese. Now, I don't know what kind of socialist utopia that Indianapolis is, but if you are 16 making $8.40 an hour, you have one of the best jobs available. Stop whining. But I do love Daisy, though. She's great. She's just great. Aza is a good student, and usually she's a good friend and a good family member, but she does have problems. Her father died many years ago in an accident that could have happened and could have not have. And she has a mental condition that makes her obsessed with the bacteria inside of her. And sometimes it hurts her and it hurts the relationships she has with those around her. In fact, a lot of times, Aza's real problem is that she just doesn't feel in control of her own body or her own destiny. And that is a thing that you don't have to have OCD to feel. I've certainly felt that. And I can comment how this book talks about sort of the modern trend of having these really cool main characters that have a mental illness but allows them to solve crimes or help people or something. And I can talk about how the novel is about loss and how we deal with loss and parenting and brotherhood and sisterhood and friendship. But it's the mental illness that really interests me because most fictional media doesn't really do mental illness well. It kind of sees it as an obstacle to be conquered. That 3-act plot structure has to end with this epic climax where you grapple with the demon inside you. And one thing that Turtles All the Way Down makes clear, as a person who has suffered from mental illness like depression and anger issues and paranoia and anxiety before, that is not how mental illness works. Mental illness is you. It is a part of you, whether you want it to be or not. And one thing about the book is that as hard as you try, you can't really help it, at least in certain ways, defining you. And you can't really get rid of mental illness. You can't really take it out or finally conquer it for good. It's there. You have to deal with it. And that dealing with it means dealing with yourself, because ultimately, it comes from you. And that makes this story heart-wrenchingly personal and intimate. One part that really made me want to cry, which is not a thing that happens to me a lot, unfortunately. Mental illness is a daily struggle. It's daily life. It is, in a sense, mundane, actually. And that's what this book is about. It's about celebrating the mundanity of life, which is reinforced by its ending, which I will not spoil. It's about family and loss and interpersonal relationships and your mind and your perception of yourself and arguing with yourself and about young love and about how ultimately all of these things, no matter what bumps, no matter what climaxes, no matter what arcs, they just keep going. And in many ways that can be torturous, but in many ways it can be beautiful. And you are a person who also just is gonna keep going. So I would heavily suggest that you read Turtles All the Way Down. I'm Wyatt the Word Weaver. Y'all be good.